Madison Square Garden, 1957. Sugar Ray Robinson defending his world middleweight crown in action here against Gene Fullmer. And Gene Fullmer comes into this contest at the age of 26 with 37 wins, 20 by knockout, 3 defeats. And Sugar Ray Robinson's record is incredible. 139 wins, 86 by knockout, just 4 defeats and 2 draws, and 145 outings. 36 years of age, former welterweight champion, and in between winning the middleweight title, he tried for the light heavyweight championship against Joey Maxim. He would have won it, but for the heat. And this is his second defense of the middleweight title and his third reign as middleweight champion. Terrific fighter. So Gene Fullmer then, a real handful, rugged, known as the Cyclone for obvious reasons. Comes from West Jordan in Utah. And Sugar Ray Robinson's real name, Walker Smith Jr. Lives in Harlem in New York. Born in Georgia. "15 rounds is what is scheduled for. A very aggressive start here from Gene Fullmer, as was anticipated. Sugar Ray Robinson, 10 years older. Will it make much of a difference? And Fullmer's still very aggressive. So at the end of round 1, and it's probably Fullmer's. Round 2, Gene Fullmer, Sugar Ray Robinson, world middleweight title. Robinson making the second defense of the title, and this is third reign. He's had some cracking wins on the way. Wins over Carl Bobo Olsen, Rocky Castellani. He was beaten by Ralph Tiger Jones. And of course, Joey Maxim, up at light heavyweight. Other names worth a mention, Rocky Graziano. You may also remember that he was beaten by Randolph Turpin in his second reign as middleweight champion, and then was terribly badly cut in the return with Turpin, but pulled it all out to win in the 10th round. He fought Jake LaMotta on 6 occasions. LaMotta the first man to beat Sugar Ray Robinson. Other cracking wins include over Kid Gavilan on 2 occasions, the great Cuban fighter. Of course, the terrific featherweight, lightweight and welterweight champion of the world, Henry Armstrong, another one of Robinson's victims. Including 2 wins over Fritzy Zivic. So some fantastic form on the Robinson record, and Gene Fullmer, well, he nearly needs to raise his game to beat him here. And interestingly, Gene Fullmer had a real tough fight with Gil Turner man he'd beaten on 2 subsequent occasions, but Turner did beat him the first time they met. Also posted good wins over Paul Pender and Peter Muller. Sugar Ray Robinson successful in his last 7 fights, coming into this one. Gene Fullmer successful in his last 5. Into round 3 then, Sugar Ray Robinson. Well, he's not had the sweetest of times so far here against Gene Fullmer. Robinson, a very smart, upright boxer, and he knows all about becoming a world champion. Undefeated welterweight champion. This is his 3rd reign as middleweight champion of the world, and this is his 2nd defence of the title. And Fullmer has a reputation of being a real tough guy. The snappiest or the greatest I've seen Robinson perform so far. Obviously not willing to overcommit himself and make a mistake here, leave himself vulnerable to Fullmer. And at 36 years of age, Robinson doesn't want to overextend himself either, giving away 10 years here to the younger man. Robinson going forward there, but getting tied up by Fullmer on the inside. Incidentally, Gene Fullmer, 5 feet 8 inches tall. Sugar Ray, 5'11". But Fullmer knows exactly how to use that lack of height and reach. Interesting fact, despite his lack of height, Gene Fullmer has got a 2-inch reach advantage over Robinson, which means he's got longer arms. Round 4 then, and a jaded looking Sugar Ray goes back to the corner at the end of round 3, and he didn't look in the mood for this assignment. But let's take nothing away from Gene Fullmer, using his skills to the best of his ability. He's such an uncompromising fighter, Fullmer. Even with a master boxer like Robinson, he still gets some very decent work done. When you consider that Robinson has fought 145 times as a pro, Fullmer just 40, massive difference between them. Sugar Ray's still being put under pressure here by Fullmer. Robinson yet to make an impact on this contest. Everything so far has suited Fullmer far better. It's the threat really that Robinson appears to be wary of. And the old adage once again, the boxer will always beat the fighter, not necessarily true. So round 5, and Robinson needs to get his act together here, because Gene Fullmer so far has had slightly the better of things. Robinson, a master boxer in the white shorts, but what's his frame of mind like? This is not the best I've ever seen it. Of course, this is the biggest night in Fullmer's career, up against the greatest fighter for a genuinely great championship, the World Middleweight title. And Robinson appears to be having trouble here with Fullmer's style. He's a very quiet man until he gets into punching range, and then he can be very dangerous. The referee for this one, Ruby Goldstein. Ruby Goldstein, our referee, will also score this with two ringside judges, Hal Barnes and Frank Forbes. round 6, and at the end of round 5 there you saw Robinson give himself a look that meant he was terribly unhappy at the way things were going at the moment. Sometimes you can have a bad day at the office, and Robinson looks like he's having one of those. Let's not take anything away from Gene Fullmer, but Sugar Ray Robinson is not the man we've seen. He's out of sorts for some reason. Ordinarily he'd box the ears off Gene Fullmer. Fullmer now really beginning to up the pace here. And things have been tough enough for Robinson as it is. Both men wearing horsehair-filled 8-ounce boxing gloves. Uncompromising at times, this one. Stumble there from these two. And Robinson from number 36 keeps himself in great shape. We're approaching the halfway point in this fight, and Gene Fullmer looks like he's got this one pretty much sewn up at the moment. But of course there's still a long way to go. Sugar Ray has certainly not been himself in this particular match. And there's that crude, uncompromising element about Fullmer's work. But there's a spark missing from Sugar Ray's here. He looks lethargic and short of ideas. And that may be down, of course, to the opponent. Otherwise, it could just be his own frame of mind. Both men, of course, knew what to expect coming into this. And, and a very awkward moment there for Robinson. Well, he's getting a count here from Ruby Goldstein, although it looked like he got pushed through the ropes. So another bad moment for Robinson. furious barrage there from both lads. And Robinson just needs a break here. He needs to get that bit of success that he can build upon. Left hook there for Robinson. Good punch. So at last, Sugar Ray has got his act together here, despite taking account. And into round 8 we go. And Gene Fullmer still got a pretty healthy lead at this stage. We've gone past the halfway point. And Sugar Ray just had a decent 7th despite taking account from Ruby Goldstein when he got pushed out of the ropes by Fullmer. Sugar Ray has not created a great deal of opportunities for himself in this. Fullmer has generally been the busier of the two. And it's worth remembering that Sugar Ray Robinson, former welterweight champion of the world, undefeated, won the middleweight title, and he went up to the light heavyweight division to try and win that one. And Joe Maxim, and would have done had the heat not got to him. In fact, it was so hot the referee had to be replaced on that occasion. And of course back down to win the middleweight title for the 3rd time, and this is his 2nd defence. So the early rounds were not good for Sugar Ray. His middle rounds have turned out to be better, slightly. You give Fullmer a target of any sort and he'll try and hit it. He hasn't got the quality, of course, that Robinson has. He's got bags of fighting heart. As we come out for round 9 then, Gene Fullmer significantly went back to his corner with his head high. Robinson had his dropped. So it's quite clear to tell where the confidence lies here. So the reigning and defending middleweight champion of the world, Sugar Ray Robinson, has got some ground to make up here against a very spirited challenger in Gene Fullmer. And surely Fullmer can't have in his wildest dreams imagined he'd be in this position. And having got here, of course, to be in the lead. Well, Fullmer matching Robinson there for speed. Sadly though, Robinson can't match Fullmer for desire. It's a massive aspect. I feel he's underrated Fullmer's challenge here. Oh, nice bit of work there from Robinson. But Fullmer using the cross-arm guard and doesn't come to much harm. Once again, middle round this for Robinson. So into round 10. And Gene Fullmer still has a lead here, but Robinson has picked up a few rounds in the mid section of the fight. He may well have won 2 of the last 3. And this is not the fittest I've ever seen Sugar Ray Robinson, either mentally or physically. As I say, I suspect he's underrated Gene Fullmer. Robinson still doesn't seem to be able to make use of that wonderful, slippery, skillful attitude he has. He hasn't really stood his ground here and flicked out the jab and caught Gene Fullmer coming in. The combinations have by and large been missing. And so of course is the power. Well, Sugar Ray there hanging on. Not because he's been hurt, but because he's run out of ideas. As Gene Fullmer still whacks away, wipes the blood from his nose. A hotly contested round, this one. And despite a lot of holding between the pair of them, Robinson might just be getting the slightest of edges here. Or maybe just clicked into gear now. Round 11 of the scheduled 15, reigning defending world middleweight champion Sugar Ray Robinson in action against Gene Fullmer, who's done well. Or is it a case of Robinson has done badly? His punches have had scant effect on Fullmer. 1 count so far, and that went against Sugar Ray when he was bundled out of the ropes by Fullmer, but the referee Goldstein took it up. Nice left hook there from Robinson a moment ago. And Gene Fullmer using that extra 10 years he has in youth to very good effect here. Sugar Ray opposed since 1940, and Fullmer didn't turn pro until 1951. And that's about right, considering he's 10 years younger. So into round 12 of what's not been the greatest world title fight that Sugar Ray has ever had in his career. And Gene Fullmer has taken full advantage here of what appeared to be lapses in concentration by Robinson. Or maybe I'm not giving full credit to Gene Fullmer. True, he's crude, he's strong, and he's committed. But he cannot match Sugar Ray Robinson in any department when Sugar Ray gets it right. Referee and two judges will score this. And Gene Fullmer rarely instigates an attack, you may notice, unless they're very close together. He leaves that to Robinson, and then of course he takes advantage if Sugar Ray makes a mistake. He's, in this particular contest, almost an out-and-out counter-puncher. Robinson could of course elect not to instigate the attacks, but then it would probably be a no fight. Yep, you'll see Gene Fullmer landing very, very few straight lefts. That's of course the building block of boxing. He's an uncompromising slugger, and not the boxer that Sugar Ray is, or at least was. Well, the bowler punch there from Robinson a moment ago didn't land on target. As we come out for round 13, some of these rounds are getting tough to score. Into the last three we go. The challenger for the world middleweight title, Gene Fullmer, in the black shorts against the reigning champion in this, his second defence in his third reign as a middleweight champion of the world, the former undefeated welterweight champion Sugar Ray Robinson. And it's not been a great night for Sugar Ray. Yep, Sugar Ray looks like he lacks fitness and ideas. When you consider some of the men he's beaten, and it's quite a surprise. Beat Fritzy Zivic on a couple of occasions. Jake LaMotta, he fought 6 times, beat him 5 out of 6. Henry Armstrong, Kid Gavin and Randolph Turpin, Carl Bubba Olsen, Rocky Graziano, Ralph Tiger Jones, Joey Maxim, and of course Rocky Castellani. I mean, some great names, uncompromising sorts as well. Don't forget, for Fullmer, well, likes of Gil Turner, beat him twice but did get beaten by Turner on one occasion. Paul Pender, Peter Muller, good names. They don't compare with what Robinson has done. For me, Fullmer is clearly ahead here. Although I suppose it depends on your interpretation of how the rounds have gone. He's trying exceptionally hard. This looks more like a case of Robinson giving away the title rather than Fullmer winning it. There's a subtle difference, of course, between the two. Which is, of course, not to decry Fullmer's effort, which has been very good. But Robinson lacks sparkle here. Penultimate round, round 14. Well, Sugar may need the knockout to win this one now. He's certainly picked up since the halfway point. But this would mean so much to Fullmer. What a huge moment this is in the career of Gene Fullmer. Lands a right there, staggers Robinson. Pro for just 6 years, Fullmer. Could he have dreamed of facing the mighty Sugar Ray for the world middleweight title when he turned pro back in 1951? Once again, these thudding overarm punches from Fullmer with the right hand. And there's blood coursing down the side now of Robinson's left eye. don't bother a man with his kind of class. But the qualities we associate with Sugar Ray Robinson have been missing here. Well, inside of the glove work there being done by Fullmer. And make that cut worse. He's got a cut too on the right eye. So something of a bloodbath now has developed between these two. Could this be the momentum that Sugar Ray needs to pull out a corker? He just can't seem to get the distance right. Or is the simple fact that Fullmer is getting it more right more often? 15th and final round then, and Sugar Ray Robinson on the verge of losing his middleweight crown here to Gene Fullmer. And unless Robinson can effect a knockout, this middleweight title belt is on its way to Utah in the very capable hands of Gene Fullmer. But of course the big question has got to be, how long will he keep it? Once again, that terrific cross-arm guard employed by Gene Fullmer, and Robinson is really going for it here in the last round, but time is very much against him. The blood still flows from that left eye. The blood still flows from Fullmer's right eye. Well, looks like we could be on the verge of an upset here, and a big upset it would be as well. Gene Fullmer having fight number 38. Make that fight number 41. Looking for his 38th victory here. He's already won 37 against 3 losses and scored 20 knockouts. And Sugar Ray has got an incredible record. 139 wins, 86 inside the limit. Just 4 losses and 2 draws and 145 fights. He's 10 years older at 36. But his current reign as world middleweight champion looks like it's about to come to an end here. So Madison Square Garden looks like it's the home of the big upset here. Well, there you are, the end of 15 rounds of boxing. And here's the score.
Referee Ruby Goldstein scores at 8-5, 2 even, favor of Fullmer. Judge Frank Forbes, 10-5, favor of Fullmer. Harold Barnes, 9-6, favor of Fullmer. Winner by unanimous decision, and a new middleweight champion of the world, Gene Fullmer.
Sugar Ray is scheduled to celebrate his 37th birthday this coming Friday. And it will be interesting to see whether he can draw from some deep reservoir and pull out some of his old speed and punch to upend. And of course, it would be ranked as an upset the young, tough, dedicated boxer who is now the middleweight champion of the world after taking the title from Sugar Ray last January on what was another great Wednesday night fight.
And ladies and gentlemen, the former world's welterweight champion, here he is, Kid Gavilan. And ladies and gentlemen, here at ringside with us, and we'd like to get him up here to take a bow, Chicago's all-time fighting favorite, the former world's lightweight, welterweight champion of the world, here he is, Barney Ross. And ladies and gentlemen, speaking about welterweight champions, here's a great fighting champion from Canastota, New York, the world's welterweight champion, Carmen Basilio. And now, adjectives cannot describe this next gentleman. A great credit to boxing, the former world's heavyweight champion, ladies and gentlemen, Joe Louis.
Waiting now for the gloves to be put on the two battlers to the satisfaction of both their own handlers and the representative from the opposite.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is a feature bout of the evening, licensed and supervised by the Illinois State Athletic Commission, a member of the National Boxing Association, matched by the International Boxing Club, James Dean, president. Feature bout of the evening, 15 rounds, with a middleweight championship of the world at stake. Ring officials have been appointed here by the Illinois State Athletic Commission. Judges are Frank Clark and Jim McManus. The timekeeper, Bob Klaus. Counting for the knockdowns at the bell, Mike Murphy. The attending ringside physicians, Dr. Irving E. Slott, Dr. John H. Pribble, and your referee, Frank Sikora. 15 rounds from New York City. He's wearing the white trunks with a black stripe. He's scaled 159 1/2 pounds this afternoon. The former world's welterweight and middleweight champion, Sugar Ray Robinson. And his opponent from West Jordan, Utah, he's wearing the black trunks with a white stripe. He weighs 159 1/2 pounds, the middleweight champion of the world, Gene Fullmer. And now, referee Frank Sikora and the instructions to both contestants.
All right, stop it. Stop. Ray, who's your chief second? And Gene, who's your chief second? Now, you men received your instructions from the Illinois State Athletic Commission. I'm here to enforce them. Be careful of your low blows. They may cost you a round. In case of a knockdown, I want you to go to your furthest corner and stay there till I tell you to come out fighting. This being a championship contest, the 8 count is waived. Is there any questions? Shake hands and come out fighting. Good luck to both of you.
Destroying the fight here in Illinois, the 5-point must system is used. 5 points to the winner of a round, a lesser number to the loser. If a round is thought to be even, each fighter gets 5 points. Sugar Ray in the white trunks against Gene Fullmer. Last January, Sugar Ray lost a short-lived third term as middleweight champion of the world to this rugged youngster from West Jordan, Utah. And now we're seconds away from the bell that'll send them on their way for a scheduled 15 rounds to renew the argument. In the previous bout, Gene Fullmer kept the pressure on Sugar Ray, moved in tight, kept hitting away with either hand or whichever hand was free. Robinson kept a tight grip on his left hand, on Fullmer's left hand, but left the other hand of Gene Fullmer's free to punch. And it was swinging around behind the head and brought the cries of rabbit punches from the Robinson camp. And the Illinois Athletic Commission has notified each fighter that special attention will be paid to punches that even look like they're rabbit punches in this fight here tonight. Both fighters moving cautiously here in the first round. Fullmer waiting to see what Robinson will do. It's been widely guessed that Sugar Ray will use different tactics in his battle with Gene Fullmer tonight. And Fullmer is playing a waiting game pretty much to see what it is that Sugar Ray has in mind. In these early moments of the first round, it appears, contrary to the expectation, that Robinson would come out storming and try to move the fight to and through Gene Fullmer. In the early rounds, he is playing a waiting game, attempting to counter, trying to force Gene to lead. Swinging right-hand counter attempted by Sugar Ray, but it grazed the jaw of Fullmer. Fullmer was moving in, and had the punch been an inch to the left, it could have been a tough one for Fullmer to weather. Section by Fullmer. 30 seconds left in round number one. Those swings of Sugar Ray to Fullmer's head did not land solidly. Ten seconds left in the first round. We're in round number three now. Scheduled 15-rounder. The first two rounds were, as far as the champion Gene Fullmer is concerned, virtually dedicated to pummeling the body of Sugar Ray Robinson. It was a rare punch that he threw at the head. Robinson has not opened up with anything as yet. He has fought in flurries, and his biggest style change from the last time these two met is staying back and attempting to counter when Gene Fullmer moves in. Minute left. We're in round number three. Somewhere along the line here, Sugar Ray is going to have to go for it, and he's trying to pick his spot very carefully to get that first important punch away. A warning to Gene Fullmer to keep his punches up. 30 seconds left. Sugar Ray grimacing on the low blow and indicating to Fullmer that it really landed low. It's round number 4. Gene Fullmer in the black trunks at the top of your screen to the left, and Sugar Ray Robinson. 4th round of scheduled 15, and Sugar Ray gets home a good right-hand shot to the jaw of Fullmer. This may have been what Robinson was waiting for. He clamps down on Gene, moves away, may have lost the chance. It was a good right-hand shot to the jaw landed by Sugar Ray Robinson. Fullmer, who concentrated on the body through the first 2.5 rounds, now is trying to deliver that right-hand smash to the head with a feint of the left hand. Just sort of a rolling motion to the left with a quick follow-up with a straight right. One minute to go in round number 4. There we have the feint and right hand again, but Robinson can see that right coming, has been able to dodge it. Ten seconds to go in the 4th round. Round number 5 coming up. Incidentally, that Detroit fight will be part of the celebration of Michigan Week on May 22nd. The governor of Michigan, G. Menon Williams, is in the audience tonight watching this fight. I think the Illinois governor, Governor William Stratton, was scheduled to be here as well, although I have not seen him as yet. Smacking right hand landed by Sugar Ray Robinson to the ribs of Gene Fullmer. And Sugar Ray drops Gene Fullmer. 4, 5, blister this foul. 7, 8, 9, 10. He is done. And don't go away. We'll have another four-round bout coming up in just a moment. As soon as that time is announced, we will be interviewing Sugar Ray Robinson.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time, 1 minute, 27 seconds of the 5th round. Winner by a knockout and new world's middleweight champion, Sugar Ray Robinson.
Sugar Ray bangs it in. Sugar Ray, you've done it again. And it's a completely remarkable fight. Can you tell me how that punch was set up?
Jack, before I say anything, I'd like to say from the very, very bottom of my heart, ladies and gentlemen, fans of mine who offered their prayers in my behalf, I want you to know from the bottom of my heart, it was your prayers that enabled me to be successful tonight. This victory belongs to you and your faith in me and your faith in God. I thank you. I want to thank my mother who's looking in, and Reverend Johnson and Mother Howard, all of those who offered their prayers for my success. And Du Bois, I'll be waiting for you on the first tee.
All right, Sugar Ray, you've got a lot of demands on you for pictures. Get with the posing. Tell me, what was the punch that nailed him?
Left hook.
A left hook, countering as he came in, and beautifully thrown. Congratulations, Sugar Ray Robinson. Well, as you can see, the center of the ring is still dominated by Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray, who tonight became the only man to win the middleweight title 4 times, he still holds true on his remarkable record of never having lost to the same man twice when he had a chance to meet him again. And now Gene Fullmer has recovered and is posing for pictures from the assembled members of the press.
Ballots around there.
And the corps of photographers and cameramen that are banked around this ringside trying to get the shot that, and he seemed to be from this corner well ahead of Sugar Ray Robinson as the fight moved along. The notion was here and expressed in about the 3rd round that Sugar Ray seemed to be waiting for an opportunity to throw that big one. We had a look at a very good right hand thrown by Sugar Ray at the beginning of the 4th round. If you remember, as he came out of his corner, he caught Gene Fullmer with a beautiful right, but then Fullmer clamped down on him and be followed up by Robinson. Robinson then went back into his waiting game, meantime taking a pretty sound body beating from Fullmer, but held on until he saw the opening for that left hook, banged it home, and it was all over in 1 minute and 27 seconds of the 5th round. The unbelievable career of Sugar Ray Robinson continues with Sugar Ray, the reigning middleweight of the world.
To the fight of the week. I'm Don Dunphy, your ringside commentator. Tonight, the long-awaited NBA middleweight title bout between champion Gene Fullmer of West Jordan, Utah, and challenger Sugar Ray Robinson of New York City. The bout is the rubber match between the two, Fullmer taking the title from Robinson on decision in January of 1957, and Robinson winning it back by a 5th-round knockout in May of that year. Sugar Ray Robinson is one of the great fighters of all time. In a total of 154 fights, he has won 143, 93 of them by knockouts and 50 by decision. He was outpointed 7 times, fought 2 draws, and 1 no decision. His lone loss by a knockout came when he tried to take the light heavy crown from Joey Maxim and collapsed from the heat at the end of the 13th round. Robinson was born May 3rd, 1921, is 5 feet 11 inches tall. His ring career spans 20 years. Champion Gene Fullmer has a fine record. His only loss in the last 5.5 years was the KO by Robinson. In 57 fights, Gene has won 52, 29 by decision, and 23 by knockout. He has lost 3 by decision and fought 1 draw. Fullmer was born July 31st, 1931, is 10 years younger than Robinson. He's 5 feet 10. At the weigh-in, supervised by Clayton Fry, Secretary of the California Commission, Fullmer weighed 159, Robinson 158 3/4. In just a few minutes, the 15-round middleweight championship bout between Gene Fullmer and Sugar Ray Robinson will get underway.
All right, boxing fans, here we go into the main event, feature attraction, 15 rounds of boxing for the middleweight championship of the world. Presenting to you the officials appointed by the California Athletic Commission, judging at ringside, former great boxer George Latka. Other judge at ringside, popular Lee Grossman. A regular timekeeper at the bell, also keeping count of the knockdowns, Jack Smith. 2 ringside physicians in attendance, Dr. Robert Rock and Dr. Jack Eusine. The referee for this middleweight championship bout will give instructions after the introductions, introducing Tommy Hart. Now presenting to you on my left, out of the white corner, from New York City, New York, wearing white trunks with a black stripe, at 158 3/4 pounds, in the role of the challenger this evening, the former middleweight boxing champion of the world, one of the greatest, Sugar Ray. Presenting to you on my right, out of the black corner, from West Jordan, Utah, also wearing white trunks, black stripe, 159 pounds, the middleweight boxing champion of the world, Gene Fullmer.
Now the instructions, referee Tommy Hart.
Much as we've covered the rules in the dressing rooms, I won't belabor the point here. The only thing that I do want to point out and bring back to your minds and refresher is that I want a clean break on my oral command. When I say break, each of you step back without holding. Is that understood? Understood. All right. This is the World Championship, so let's fight like it. Shake hands now and good luck to both of them.
Scoring here is on the simplified 5 system. The winner of a round gets anywhere from 1 to 5 points. The loser gets nothing. Even rounds are marked by X's. Scoring by 2 judges and a referee. The bell for round 1, 15 rounds. The Los Angeles Sports Arena. Both boys wearing white trunks. Robinson the taller of the 2. And that's the way Fullmer likes to fight, in close. He realizes that he can't give Robinson punching range and will try to smother his punches. He's going to rush him all night that way. And the crowd is getting on Fullmer for that. Robinson, with his beautiful combinations, needs wide punching range. The gloves look white. Actually, they're orange. Robinson figures the bout is that he's a matador stabbing a bull, the bull being Fullmer. There is no automatic 8 count on a knockdown, and there is no 3 knockdown rule at any time in California. Robinson has height and reach going for him, and Fullmer has youth. has a cut beside the left eye. Fullmer is cut beside the left eye. I wouldn't think the blood would go in the eye, though. 1 minute to go in round one. Well, the cut looks a little bit worse. Fullmer told me yesterday that he thought Robinson was trying to kid him by playing up his left hook, and that probably Robinson would come at him with right hands. He just threw a good one a moment ago. Round one. And there's the bell. And an 18-foot ring. There's the bell for round two. When Fullmer won in New York, they wore 8-ounce gloves. When Robinson knocked him out in Chicago, they wore 6. Robinson is picking his spot. Fullmer expects Robinson to try to get him mad, so he'll trade with him. Fullmer's best punching power is to the body, by the way. He's never been a good headhunter. Robinson can land them anywhere, and good. Two minutes left in this round. Scheduled for 15 at the Los Angeles Sports Arena. Awkwardly clever to use the term of Robinson. The crowd is getting on him. He's not a picture fighter, but nobody ever beats him. But Robinson's the classic fighter. Probably wondering himself if he can roll back the years. About 20 seconds remaining in round two. Robinson seems to have a cut on his left eyebrow. Now they've both been cut around the left eye. Fullmer's is not showing in this round. There's the bell. The warning whistle is sounded for round number 3 here on the Los Angeles Sports Arena. The NBA middleweight title on the line, the bell. Little to choose between them so far. You'll notice that Fullmer is keeping his hands up high. He's willing to take the body punches to protect the head. Robinson has not opened up with a combination yet. He is famous for his combination punches, lefts and rights. Round 3 is almost half over. You'll notice that Fullmer is going to punish that body all he can. He's got 10 years going for him. Robinson has to look for the opening. Every so often you'll see a real close-up with our Vidicon camera being used for the first time on a prize fight. 1 minute to go in round 3. Funny thing about this, each one knows how the other is going to fight. Question is not to make a mistake. A good bolo by Robinson. And Fullmer's in there with some lusty belts to the midsection. 10 seconds to go in round 3. Warning whistle has sounded for round 4, and there's the bell. Ray Robinson on the left, Fullmer on the right. Fullmer, the NBA middleweight champion. Robinson challenging. Both boys wearing white trunks, which is an unusual thing. Now that body punishment is calculated to do the ex-champion Robinson no good. The action is speeding up, as you probably noticed. Robinson landed good. Fullmer took them well. Robinson is looking for another opening. But Fullmer's keeping those clubs up in front of his face. Just about a minute left in round 4. Robinson is scoring heavily, as you see. That left hook was blocked. And he's staying away from Fullmer, too. seconds left in the round. Robinson brought them up yelling. Only a few seconds left in the round. Fullmer took those punches well. But a big round for Robinson, round 4. There's the bell.
After losing the first fight to Gene Fullmer, there were questions about whether the aging Ray Robinson was near the end of his career. However, he dispelled all doubts with a decisive win over Fullmer in their second fight. Ironically, after that bout, many believed that Fullmer too had peaked and his career was fading. With more on one of boxing's great rivalries, here's Al Bernstein with his continuing series, Bernstein on Boxing.
Sugar Ray Robinson and Gene Fullmer couldn't have been more different. Robinson was an urbanite from Detroit who became the toast of Harlem, and inside the ring often made boxing seem like an art form. Fullmer is a Mormon from Ogden, Utah, who used a great work ethic and brute strength to become a world champion, but always continued to call Utah his home. Their different worlds collided in the ring 4 times, from 1957 to 1961. A world title was always on the line, and the bout that resulted was always scintillating. The series included a devastating knockout, 2 decision wins, and a draw. A potpourri of everything that can happen in a boxing ring. Fullmer, 10 years younger than Robinson, took the series 2-1-1. Many Robinson boosters often point out that Fullmer met Robinson when he was 36 to 41 years old in the series. They claim a younger Robinson would have done better against Fullmer. There is probably truth in that, but to suggest that is the only reason Fullmer had success does him an injustice. He was a true champion. Like Jake LaMotta, Carmen Basilio, and Bobo Olsen before him, Gene Fullmer was one of several middleweights who got to share center stage with the great Sugar Ray in a memorable series of fights. For ESPN Classic, I'm Al Bernstein.
3 months after their third fight, the two fought for the 4th and final time in 1961. In that battle, Fullmer retained the title with another 15-round decision. Now let's return to the 1960 Middleweight Championship bout between Sugar Ray Robinson and Gene Fullmer here on ESPN Classic.
There's the bell, and they're out there again. Robinson on the right, Fullmer on the left. Fullmer has shown signs of picking up the pace the last 2 rounds. Fullmer wants to get in to smother those punches. Ray wants punching room. Open up at the combinations. Fullmer's dropping those hands just a little bit. That could be dangerous. Fullmer is the aggressor, but Robinson is doing the scoring. Fullmer's best have been to the body. They're crushing punches that are bound to take their toll as the fight goes on. Round is half over. Now Fullmer is starting to throw them from back in the backfield. Robinson keeps him off with that jab. He may have hurt Fullmer with that right. Fullmer apparently is not hurt. He's throwing hard punches. He hurt Robinson that time. And that's the end of round 6. There's the bell for round 7. Scoring in California on the simplified 5 system. The winner of a round gets anywhere from 1 to 5 points. The loser gets nothing. Even rounds are marked by an X. The referee and 2 judges do the scoring. Score there. Robinson's punches are the flashier, but Fullmer throws a crunching punch to the body. Now he's going for the head more than he did in the early rounds. Round 7 half over. Fullmer is doing better defensively now than he did in the last 2 rounds. One minute to go in round 7. Well, he didn't defend that time. You'll notice that Robinson is fighting in flurries now. Fullmer grunted when he dug the body that time. 10 seconds to go in round 7. There's the bell, Serena. Robinson on the left, Fullmer on the right. There have been no knockdowns in the fight. Neither has been seriously hurt. Fullmer's winding up on those body punches. Now he's found a weakness on Robinson. The right hand, Fullmer's right under Robinson's left into that left side. Heavy punches. Well, Fullmer's coming on now. About 45 seconds left in this round. Seconds to go in the round. There's the bell. 5 rounds remaining in the fight. It could be that Robinson is tiring a little. He's not getting away from Fullmer's rushes as he did earlier. That's only a surmise. He may have other ideas. Well, that was solid. And that. The best punch of the fight by Robinson. Now let's see the effect on Fullmer. There have been no knockdowns. Fullmer's nose is bothering him. Fullmer bleeding around the nose and it's bothering him. Putting on a classy exhibition here. 1 minute to go in round 11. Fullmer coming back, however. Now it's a pair sixer. Taken heavy punishment here. Fullmer's game, though. Ten seconds to go in round 11. Big round for Robinson. And there's the bell. Robinson senses he may have him. Fullmer bleeding from the nose, and it is annoying him. high now. Almost over.
As Sugar Ray Robinson battles Gene Fullmer in December of 1960 for the Middleweight Championship on ESPN Classic.
There's the bell. There have been no knockdowns. Robinson on the right, Fullmer on the left, both wearing white trunks. To go in this round 13. One minute to go in round 13. Ten seconds to go in round 13. the bell. Wanted for round 14. The middleweight championship bout between Gene Fullmer on the left, Ray Robinson on the right, and Robinson getting off quick. There have been no knockdowns in case you joined us late. California scoring a simplified 5 system. They're landing simultaneously now. Both were hurt that time. By the left eye. Robinson's punches are flashy, but don't forget that Fullmer is scoring heavily too. Gas with that punch. Robinson turning back the clock about 10 years tonight. About 20 seconds left to go in the round. The bell ending round 14. Listen to the crowd. There have been no knockdowns. There's the bell. Robinson cuts the side and below the left eye. There have been no knockdowns. We keep reminding you that. Robinson had a tremendous round in the 11th. The other rounds were fairly close, no matter who won them. Coming on. I wonder if he's got enough time. a minute and 15 seconds left in the fight. This is Fullmer's biggest round. They could have started too late, though. It's up to the officials. .35 seconds left in the 15th round. No knockdown. He was off balance. And there's the ball ending the fight. It's all over, and look, they're not mad at each other now. We'll have the decision in just a minute. And now Jimmy Lennon is about to announce the result, and after that we'll have an interview with the winner.
A split decision. Judge Lee Grossman at ringside scores it 9-5 in favor of Gene Fullmer. Your referee, Tommy Hart, scores it 11-4 in favor of Sugar Ray Robinson. The deciding ballot cast by Judge George Left at ringside, 8 points for Robinson, 8 for Fullmer, a draw, still the champion, Gene Fullmer.
It's a draw decision here. Boys, I need both of you. Get them over to the microphone. I'm going to have to interview both of them on a draw decision. Gene Fullmer retains his title here in the Los Angeles Sports Arena. Gene, how do you feel about it now? Congratulations to you. It was a tough one. I thought you had to come from behind. Ray's always in there, and he's always dangerous. And I may have played just a little cautious in those early rounds, Don, because I guess I remember the last time around when he tied me that big one in the 5th round. I didn't want to take that chance, but he's a champion. Well, Gene, did you mind the fact that the crowd seemed to be partisan for Robinson? Oh, no. It's natural. If I'd have been champion 5 times and they hadn't cheered for me, I'd have felt bad. Well, how do you feel about the decision now? Do you feel you won, or do you feel that you're happy to get a draw? Well, I naturally felt that I won, but that's what we have judges and referees for, to call a decision, and that they thought a draw, why I'll have to go along the way they thought. Well, Gene, may I say this? You're walking on a tightrope. This is the 2nd draw decision in a title defense for you. It happened with Joey Ciardello last year. That's right, Don. Well, does the return bout contract, I might ask Bob Jensen, your manager, what about the return bout contract? Does that cover a draw decision? No, just in case he loses while he had a return match. Oh, what do you think will happen now? Do you think, well, I think Robinson deserves another fight, don't you? Well, we'll see. I think he'll be running after us like we were running after him before, so I don't think that he'll be getting a return match. Personally, I thought Lawson displayed a great deal of ring salary there for about 3 or 4 rounds. He looked great, but I thought Gene won at least 9 rounds. Well, Marv, what did you think about Robinson's condition? Did that surprise you? Well, he had an extra 6 weeks to train, and we knew he'd be in good condition. He's a good athlete. You can't take that away from him. He's a great fighter. And that was Gene Fullmer, the still NBA middleweight champion of the world.
By the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Commissioners in attendance, James Gay, the 3rd acting chairman from Las Vegas, Pat Brady, secretary from Reno, James Deskin, Las Vegas, and John Gammett from Elko. Physicians at ringside, Dr. Donald Romeo and Dr. Charles West. Inspectors, George Maxwell and Joe Sheck. The timekeeper, Al Johnson. Counting for the knockdowns, Art Harris. The judges, the Right Honorable Judge David Zenoff, the other judge, Jack Ty, your referee, Frankie Carter. Now to the principals for this all-important World Championship fight. In the white corner, wearing white trunks with the red stripes, the former world welterweight and five-time world middleweight champion, weighing 159 3/4 pounds, from New York City, Sugar Ray Robinson. In the black corner, wearing white trunks with black stripes, one of modern boxing's most active champions, the middleweight title holder, and weighing also weighing 159 3/4 pounds, from West Jordan, Utah, Gene Fullmer. Gene Fullmer. Now, here's your referee, Frankie Carter, for final instructions for both fighters, and may the better man win.
Talk into it. All right, here's what I want to remember. When I say break, I want both of you to stop punching and step back forward. No rabbit punches, remember that, both of you. No kidney punches, no low punches, no unnecessary roughness at all times, whether you're against the ropes or the center of the ring. When I say break, you both stop punching and step back. You shake hands from on the counter, I'm not boxing. I only give you 3 commands while you're boxing. Stop, box, and break. That's all I'll say unless I have to say something else. Shake hands from our boxing.
Scoring here in Las Vegas is on the 5-point must system, with 5 points to the winner of the round, 4 or less to the loser. Even rounds, each one gets 5. There's the warning bell. We're waiting for round 1. It's a 15-round bout. They're wearing 8-ounce gloves. The ring is an 18-foot ring.
That's it, ref.
That is the bell. They don't seem to recognize it. It wasn't a gong. They've got a bell here. And we're getting off to a staggered start. According to the clock, 23 seconds have gone of the round already. They are starting over. Both boys wearing white trunks. Robinson was ripped back to the ropes that time. Robinson a little the taller of the two. Fullmer's face is well greased. I might add that there's little love lost between these two gladiators. Robinson on the right, Fullmer on the left. Frankie Carter of San Francisco brought in as the referee. Fullmer has a big patch of Vaseline on the left side of his mouth, just above the upper lip and below the nose, to the side of the nose. Keeping his gloves up high, as you can see. Robinson is noted for his great combination. He started on there. Fullmer can fight either by moving back or by lunging and rushing in. He's not a picture-style fighter, but he is effective. One minute to go in round 1. Well, watch that inside work. They're pretty rough on the inside. Robinson with the classic stance, a long lead left, a bolo left. You'll notice that Fullmer is going to work the body. He's trying to slow down the faster but older Robinson. They're both fighting pretty much the same way as they did before. 10 seconds to go in round one. There's the bell. The bell here is not a gong. It has just sounded for round two. It's more like an alarm clock. Incidentally, the officials' cards are handed to the commission after each round here. Robinson knows that Fullmer is prone to cut around the face, and he's working on it. But Fullmer has been blocking them. Fullmer draws a warning. Robinson is looking to putt shot Fullmer. He's got that right, straight right or left cross ready. There it is. They scored with 2 lights to the ball. They took the with a solid right smash to the face. Robinson is piling them up at this point. Half the round is over. Less than a minute to go in this round. Only seconds to go in round two. Scheduled for 15. Robinson started the polo, so it's better on it. There's the bell. We go back to the NBA Middleweight Champions corner. That's Gene Fullmer. On the outside, facing him is manager Marv Jensen. Leaning in over the ropes on the left-hand side is very capable trainer Angelo Curley. On the outside, his Masseur, Tuggy Bonstad. I'm not sure the name is right, but anyway, that's he who gives such a good rub down. We go over to Sugar Ray Robinson's corner now. The 5-time middleweight champion is well shepherded over there. On the outside, on the right, is Dr. Mike Holloman, his personal physician. Facing him and working on him with an ice pack is his trainer Harry Wiley, and his advisor George Gainford is on the outside of the rope. Only a few seconds left in the rest period now. Scheduled for 15 rounds at Las Vegas for the NBA middleweight title. There's the bell for round 3. Fullmer has been picking off some of those jabs by Robinson. Like that, for instance. Oh, they both got mad there. This pressure has to tell on somebody. Two minutes to go in round 3. Now it's Fullmer who is applying the pressure on Robinson. They've both drawn in warning infractions now. Fullmer has a little bit of a cut beside his left eye, on the left of the left eye. Robinson may have been hurt as he came in. A real brawl. Fullmer bleeding around the left eye. And it looks a little worse. There's the bell. The referee didn't hear it. Nobody heard the bell. Nobody heard the bell. George Gankton and Harry Wiley are in there. And the place is a bedlam here in Las Vegas. Robinson was in as much trouble as we have ever seen him, as Fullmer finished the round strong. And they are working on Robinson in his corner. It's nobody's fault. Nobody, the fighters nor the referee, heard that bell because of the terrific bedlam here in the convention center in Las Vegas. And George Gainford and Harry Wiley rushed in from Robinson's corner, and the referee did not know it, and it is not anybody's fault. You just could not hear that bell. They are working furiously on Robinson. He was in real trouble. There isn't any question about that. The warning whistle for round 4. There's the bell. Round 4. Robinson doesn't come out. Now he comes out. The handlers didn't get out of the ring. Let's see how much good the minute rest did Robinson. Fullmer bleeding from that eye again. Fullmer bleeding around the left eye. Robinson is going to seek to get him one good one to turn it his way. Less than 2 minutes to go in round 4. There's a smear of blood beside and below the left eye of Gene Fullmer. 1 minute to go in round 4. Robinson coming back. Fullmer dangerous. Looks like a fight for survival. 10 seconds to go in round 4. There's the bell. 5, scheduled for 15 at Las Vegas. On the left-hand side, the NBA middleweight champion, Gene Fullmer, and his opponent, Sugar Ray Robinson. Both wearing white trunks. Frankie Carter, the referee. You'll notice that Fullmer has started at a faster pace than he did in the bout last December. Fullmer keeps coming in relentlessly. Robinson up on his toes. Fullmer fighting flat-footed. Those punches by Robinson, rather by Fullmer to the body are not eye-catching, but they're effective. There was a low one by Robinson. Robinson told to keep them up. One minute to go in round 5. Ten seconds to go in round 5. There's the bell. 6. Robinson on the left, Fullmer on the right. Now Fullmer's on the left, both wearing white trunks. Robinson a little the taller of the two. Fullmer keeping the gloves up high. Robinson scored solidly to the head, and Fullmer returned the fire to the body. Fullmer has been applying the pressure in the last couple of rounds. Less than a minute to go in round 6. There have been no knockdowns. Although Robinson was staggered in round 3. About 15 seconds remaining in this round. Well, I hope they hear the bell this time. There it is. They heard it. That's the end of round 6. Next Saturday night, the fight of the week moves to Syracuse, New York, for a 10-round middleweight battle between Carmen Basilio and Don Jordan. Basilio beat Gaspar Ortega in a rousing 10-rounder on the fight of the week in January. He has thrilled many millions of TV viewers during a long career as welterweight and later middleweight champion. Basilio is looking for a shot at Paul Pender's middleweight title, but he has a mighty formidable obstacle in Don Jordan, also a former welterweight champion. Jordan twice defeated Virgil Akins for the title, but lost it to Benny Kid Perrette right here in Las Vegas last May. Now under new management and a much more matured fighter, Jordan is looking to climb back to the top of the ladder. Carmen Basilio versus Don Jordan on the fight of the week next Saturday, brought to you by the Gillette Safety Razor Company and the Miles Products Division of Miles Laboratories. Coming up to round 7 now. There's the bell. The pace has been tired all the way. Robinson is always dangerous, and Fullmer knows it. He's trying to get in to muffle the long shot. Fullmer getting a little fancy, but that was a solid right. Two minutes to go in this round. Round 7 scheduled for 15. Grazing punch. Shaken and is holding. He can hold pretty good too. One minute to go in round 7. 10 seconds to go in round 7. There's the bell. Beautiful convention center in Las Vegas, Nevada. The NBA middleweight title at stake. Gene Fullmer on the left, Ray Robinson on the right. The bell. I remind you, it is not a gong. It is just a long bell, a ringing bell. Angelo Curley, the cut man, the trainer of Fullmer, has done a remarkable job on the cut near Fullmer's left eye. It was very bad a while ago. Of course, it can reopen, no question about that. Simultaneous attack that time. Round 8 is half over. About a minute left in this round. The Fullmer strategy, Robinson likes to fight at long range. He's got the guns for it. Fullmer, a little shorter armed, wants to get in there. That's a big rally by Robinson. Seconds left in the round. They're in Robinson's corner. There's the bell. Across from our cameras, you may have noticed a distinguished group of people sitting in the first row of ringside. This row is called the Las Vegas YMCA Sponsors Row, and there's quite a story behind it. Each ticket in this row sold for $1,000, probably the highest price in boxing history. The purchasers were a civic-minded group of local citizens. The proceeds from these seats are going to a building fund for a new Las Vegas YMCA. A number of the people you see sitting there are the guests of the ticket purchasers, including, of course, the two gentlemen of the clergy, Father Crowley and the Reverend Goodmanson. Other guests you might recognize include Benny Goodman, Danny Kaye, and Phil Harris. So that row is worth $14,000, and the YMCA Building Fund gets a healthy boost. We're coming to round 9. Gene Fullmer on the left, Ray Robinson on the right. NBA middleweight title at stake. Apparently, Robinson's corner told him to pick up the pace, and he has done it. And he has reopened the cut beside Fullmer's left eye. As you see, both have scored heavily in this round. 2 minutes left in the round. Robinson doing the holding. One minute to go in round 9. .25 seconds left in the round. Robinson ran into one there, as Fullmer has run into many. Now Fullmer ran into one. 10 seconds to go in round 9. And there's the bell. Round 10 coming up, 15 rounds here in Las Vegas. There's the bell. Fullmer on the right, Robinson on the left. NBA middleweight title at stake. There is now a cut beside Robinson's left eye. Robinson has a mild cut beside the left eye. And it's looking a little angry. It's an identical cut to the one Fullmer has. All right, this is a fight for survival. Less than 2 minutes remaining in this round. Boys may be coasting a little bit. Fullmer now has started to back away instead of coming in, but he comes back. Robinson scored a good right uppercut that time. Sugar Ray live and graceful as ever. And he is cut pretty badly around that left eye, I would say. Well, each one is scoring in turn now. Less than a minute to go in this round. You know, these punches are making even the ringsiders wince. And there's the bell ending round 10. We'll go back to Gene Fullmer's corner. Gene has never been the graceful type of a fighter, but he's putting on a savage defense of his championship tonight. Angelo Curley, leaning in from the left-hand side, is the man in charge of the cut, and that's manager Marv Jensen, who has guided his fighter through all these years. Here's something of interest to all sports fans. The Best in Boxing every Saturday night is just one of many outstanding sports attractions presented by the American Broadcasting Company. Championship college basketball, NCAA football, Sunday football, golf, and bowling are incorporated to create an exciting and diversified ABC sports lineup. The warning whistle is sounded for round 11, scheduled for 15 here in Las Vegas. There's the bell. Fullmer holding Robinson against the rope. The referee is Frankie Carter, brought in from San Francisco. Scoring here is on a 5-point must. The winner of a round gets 5 points. The loser gets 4 or less. Even rounds each get 5. They're battling in Fullmer's corner with Fullmer holding Robinson against the rope and bothering him no end. Robinson cut around the left eye again. Fullmer's is not bleeding at the moment. Less than 2 minutes to go in the round. Fullmer doing a pretty good job of smothering Robinson's attack. Robinson scores heavily on occasion. One minute to go in round 11. There have been no knockdowns in the fight. Fullmer had a very big round in round 3 when he hurt Robinson. Seems that every time one scores a big one, the other scores one too. Ten seconds to go in round 11. There's the ball. Coming up to round 12 here in Las Vegas. Gene Fullmer on the left, Ray Robinson on the right, both wearing white trunks for the NBA Middleweight Championship. Pace slowing down a little bit. It's been a grueling one. "45 seconds left in the round. They're in Robinson's corner now with Fullmer on the outside. Fullmer keeping the pressure on. There's the bell ending round 12. Let's go back to the corner with Sugar Ray Robinson as Harry Wiley wipes him off. Sugar Ray, one of the great fighters of all time, retired undefeated as the welterweight champion and is trying to win this middleweight title for the 6th time. The career of Ray Robinson goes back to 1940. There he is. And you can barely see the slight cut near his left eye. He has been in one of his most grueling fights tonight, and win or lose, though, there is no question of Robinson standing in the fistic community of all time. We are coming up to round 13. There have been no knockdowns in the fight. Fullmer had a particularly big round in the 3rd round when neither the fighters nor the referee heard the bell, and they battled for maybe 15 seconds after it. Here's round 13. You can still see that Robinson has the old move. Less than 2 minutes to go in round 13. Frankie Carter of San Francisco, the referee. Incidentally, as I told you earlier, and you might have not have heard it, Robinson in a big rally. Got to tell you, the cards are collected by the commission after each round. 1 minute to go in round 13. It's a hectic one. Ten seconds to go in round 13. A comeback round for Robinson. There's the bell. Fullmer on the left, Robinson the right. Now it's Robinson the left. Keep saying that. They're both wearing white trunks. There have been no knockdowns in this fight. If you've been with us all the way, you realize how torrid the pace has been. Fullmer seems almost indestructible tonight. There's the bell, ending round 14. Angelo Curley, the cut man who has done a fine job with Fullmer tonight, walks in there. The referee just walked between him and us. Both men have had good cut men tonight. Robinson had a cut around his left eye, and that seems to have been pretty well patched up, too. Well, we're coming to the big one, round 15. And still no knockdowns in the fight. Frankie Carter, the referee, here it is. but 2 minutes left in the fight. There have been no knockdowns. They've each tried. It's been a bristling encounter. I think after this one, they'll each need a long rest. Just a minute left in the fight now. 1 minute. Seconds left. We'll have the decision and an interview with the winner in just a minute. And announcer Dick Porter is waiting for them so he can announce them. There are 2 judges and a referee here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And we are going to interview the winner when the decision is announced. The cards are still being added. The scoring is on a 5-point must system. 5 points to the winner of a round, 4 points or less to the loser, and 5 points to each man if a round is scored even. It was a savage duel all the way. There were no knockdowns. Each man scored heavily. Fullmer had one big round. The third round, when both battled after the bell for at least 15 seconds. Nobody in the place heard the bell, the fighters or the referee, and as I said earlier, you couldn't blame them. The cards are still being tallied by the Las Vegas commissioners. Dick Porter is reaching for a microphone. Here comes the decision in just a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, Judge David Zenoff scores it 70 Fullmer, 64 Robinson. Judge Jack Ty scores it 70 Fullmer, 67 Robinson. Referee Frank Carter scores it 70 Fullmer, 66 Robinson. The winner is still kept. Jane Fullmer. Unanimous. Fullmer, unanimous. Unanimous